All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone taught us this truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe, and also the brothers that teach this word in sincerity. I'm the brother I will lump you from the JMS Chicago branch here in Chicago, coming back at you with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. I'm gonna just do a lesson on this video. The beloved Elder Malcolm, basically posted it through the group me of the various things happening around the world, mainly to this place America. You know, and I'm just basically titled this lesson just that. The Lord is showing us the downfall of America. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this video. I'm gonna just jump into some precepts.
Let me say that to you again. This is Venezuela working together with Iran, with the president, the leader of Venezuela, saying that the era of the United States military dominance of the world is over. If people can't understand that that means we are at war right now, then they're never going to get it. We are all afraid. That message is coming to us from people around the United States of America who are finding it difficult to move ahead in this economic crisis. Massive rent increases are hitting low-income areas across our entire country, from apartment complexes to mobile home parks. Rent is doubling and in some cases tripling as demand, low inventory, so they claim, and a rise in corporate owners take a toll on one of the nation's largest sources of affordable housing. They've said lowering availability of homes is driving this increase. But I want to ask you a question. If that was true, then where do these people live just 3 years ago? If all of a sudden we don't have enough housing for...
Right, hyperinflation is setting in. The cost of living is going up. He discusses, this Edomite, discusses various points, everything that's happening, here in America. You have, these other countries coming against America. The dollar is through. Like I said, the cost of living is going up. Food prices are going up. Hyperinflation, gas prices, whatever the case may be. The Lord is showing us the downfall of America and showing us that our deliverance is at hand. This is all the Lord's doing. So I'm gonna just jump in and out of the video. But Salakia, I wanted to get this. This is the book of Jeremiah 51:9. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Right. This is talking about what? Babylon the Great, which is America. This place is unhealable because what? It was written already, since the beginning that this place was going to fall, and we're seeing the fall and collapse of America right now, right before our very eyes. And the Lord is showing us various signs, throughout the world of that happening. Like I said, you have the cost of living is going up. Actually in the video, he says, rent is going up. Also in that same video, he talks about, food prices, gas prices going up, and sooner rather than later, you're going to have these people turn on one another, So I'm going to read this again. This is the book of Jeremiah 51:9. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Right? This place will never be healed. Going back all the way, to the slaughtering of the Israelites. Even to this day, this place is unhealed because what? Our blood, is soaked on the lands of America. So the Lord has to pay these devils back for that. Because what? This, like I said, this blood is drenched with the blood of our forefathers. It says, forsake her and let us go into everyone into his own country. Right? We're seeing that right now. A lot of these heathens are going back into their own countries. They know that America is through. Even before then, you have a lot of these, a lot of these millionaires, basically, hightailing out of America because they know that this place is going to fall. And it says, for her judgment reaches unto heaven, and it's lifted up even to the skies. Right, the wickedness that this place has done. The Lord, it's basically cost the Lord, has caught the Lord's attention. As the scripture talks about, the Lord is no longer going to hold his peace. Touching this place. Starting with you Israelites first. Because as the scripture say, judgment must begin at the house of the Lord. But that's another lesson for another day. But this place is ultimately not healed. So let's go back into the video.
The American citizens. Where were these people just 3 years ago? And any hoorah rah over it being all immigrants taking away all of the cheap apartments is not true. The truth is where this problem lies, and that's in corporate America and greed. Not just corporations, but greed and politicians selling out your future for a better future of their own. Russia has a plan to starve the West to achieve its goals. That warning is coming to us from government operatives who stress that Russia is right now planning to use control measures rather than solitary war footing to achieve goals of the reactivation of the Soviet Union. According to reports, Vladimir Putin is preparing to starve much of the developed world as the next stage in his war on Europe continues to come to fruition. We're seeing Russia prepare for a massive fight against NATO, against a. You've been broke all pandemic, and then your friend goes, "Oh, you didn't know you could claim $750 cash out before the holiday." One is none. You're going to be behind in this economic and military conflict. We have to have backups for everything. Kelly and I just started discussing, not just order to ever seen from the communist country, and it's one that we have to take to heart because 80% of your medicine comes from raw ingredients that come from China and some India, and 60 to 70% of every piece of goods that you can find inside of Walmart, inside of Target, inside Kmart, where they still exist, online, on Amazon, on eBay, where do they come from? Not made in Michigan. They don't come from Texas. They all come from China. And so when China threatens not just...
And there you have it. America is, it's at war with Russia and China. At this point, he says, all the goods come from what? China. And cost of, like I said, the cost of these different things are going up. So America is evidently through. The dollar is done. As he said, before this, when the, like the first or second minute into the video, he talking about, rent prices is going up. This place is done. Compared to the 1960s, where America was at its peak, and compared to now, it's evidently, it's evident that the Lord is basically showing you, for the ones that, for the eyes to ear and the ears to hear. It's evident that we know that that this place is through. But for the other people that don't understand, they're going to be trapped in the coming hell that's to come. When this thing completely collapses, a lot of these people is going to be caught off guard. Let's continue. This is the book of Malachi 1 and 4 says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua hath indignation forever. Right. When Esau, got back into power, in the late late 1300s, early 1400s, after the during the beginning of the Renaissance period, which means the rebirth. When Esau, basically got into power, that's him, coming back to, to build, the desolate places. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. Right. You see the Lord throwing down right now, because ultimately, what is Esau trying to do? He's trying to fulfill his NWO agenda, by the way of that charagma. But what? Ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to throw this place down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, right? Because everywhere Esau Edom goes, he spreads that BS democracy, things like that. He destroys countries with his ways. It says, and the people the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua had indignation forever, right? Salakia, the Lord hates Esau, because what he does everything contrary to the Bible. So ultimately, what we're seeing right now is Yahweh Shem Yahushua, throwing the society down. The people is at a worst state ever. The economy is is at a worst state ever. The mirth of this place is gone. The cost of living is going up. People don't trust each other. Famine is on the horizon. The Lord is, you can see that the Lord is evidently throwing this place down. Let's play a little bit more of the video, then I'm gonna finishing out the lesson.
They don't come from Texas. They all come from China. And so when China threatens not just economic security, but also the security of the entire world through World War, we have to take notice and we have to realize what that really means for us. It means the availability of everything that you want, like, need, have in your house, need to replace. You're not going to be able to do it. And so we need to start making groups right now, figuring out ways to barter, holding on to second items. If you don't already live by the adage that two is one and one is none, you're going to be behind in this economic and military conflict. We have to have backups for everything. Kelly and I just started discussing backups for air conditioning, backups for fuel, backups for heating, backups for toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, shoes, literally everything. If it comes from an area that you can't source it locally, then you need to have extra of it right now. The United States, Japan, and South Korea are preparing to resume cooperative military exercises as these three countries get ready for a conflict with China to materialize. I keep getting asked.
And see, there you have it. A lot of people, when this thing, really, kicks off, just, picture, what happened in 2020. A lot of people was what? Panic buying tissue, buying food, different things like that during the heights of the pandemic, you know? So just imagine when, these things are not available and when this place completely locks down, the minds of these people, with the minds of these people, with the minds of these people today, what they're going to do to one another. I basically did a lesson, talking about, I basically taught it that lesson, a recipe for disaster, you know, how, in these hoods, a lot of these, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going to, a lot of these people, in fact, is going to rob one another because of the lack of resources, you know. But let's go back. Salakia. This is the book of Second Ezra 15 and 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Right, because it's going to come a time where a lot of these people, you're seeing it right now, but you're going to see it on a major scale. You're going to have like groups of people, with guns in their hands, you know, uh, not only fighting against one another, as it's going to get to in 17, they're going to try to fight against their government, you know, because what? A lot of these people, some of the, some, so you got a lot of few people, that's in the know out there that knows what the government is trying to do. Because what, right now you have the government trying to take away what, their firearms or different things like that, so they don't have any type of resistance when they do roll out on the people. So I'm gonna read this again. I'm gonna just jump to 17. It says, Second Ezra 15 and 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes." Right? What's your kings nor princes today? Or princes today? Your president, your mayor. It says, "In the course of their action shall stand in their power." Right? People is going to fight, once against another. Verse 17 says, "And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Right? Martial law is going to be, in the heights, and different, communities here in America, especially, in your Jake neighborhoods. You know, when all hell breaks loose, this is what E is trying to do. Order Abkeo. Basically they're trying to, as we're saying right now, they're coming in. They're ultimately trying to come in with that solution after they bring in the problem, and they try to ultimately try to bring it that solution. You know, so ultimately this is all planned by the hands of Yahweh Shem Shai. He's making these Edomites, do all these things. Control famine, control pestilence, different things like that. That ultimately, they're using amongst the people to ultimately control them. You know, to ultimately bring in that Quran, because this is what all this is, leading towards. So, Second Ezra 15, 17, I'm going to read it again. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Right? That's talking about martial law. Verse 18 says, For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Right? Just imagine, when these people can't eat, they're going to rob, that next door neighbors. A lot of these people is going to be thrown out to the street by these military troops, these UN troops. You know, a lot of people is going to take what you have. A lot of these people, as the guy was going into the video, that Edomite, how they're saving up on different things, as he says, two of everything, whether it be toothpaste, deodorant, food, cases of water, tissue. People that that know what you're doing, they're going to rob you. You know, it says in the house shall be destroyed. Right, a lot of that is going to happen in these last days, and men shall be afraid. Right, men shall be afraid. So how much more these women? You know, and this is the times we're currently in right now. You know, these are the beginning of sorrows, as the scripture goes into. And like I said before, the minds of these people, the happiness of these people are gone. Like I said, this is not the same America from 10 to 20, you know, 20 years ago. Not even the 1960s when America was at its peak. So this is the book of Isaiah 24 and 8. It says, the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. Verse 9, it says, they shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall be better to them that drink it. Right, because right now, you have a lot of people out here, and having a good ass time. Even after the fact that all these things are happening right now. You have famish, because a lot of these shelves is not getting restocked. You have rising gas prices, different things like that. You have the cost of living is going up, rent prices are going up. You know, in a minute these people are going to feel it. A lot of these people are feeling it right now. A lot of these people don't like that the fact that gas prices are going up, that the cost of living is going up, that the rent prices are going up. You know, this is one of the main point I want to touch on. This is the book of Isaiah 24 and 10. It says, the city of confusion is broken down. What is the city of confusion? America, which is Babylon the Great. Why is it called the city of confusion? Because what? Men can be women and women can be men. For example, it says the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. Right. A lot of these businesses, since 2020, and the height of the pandemic, has been closing down. It's been that way ever since. You know, with the cost of living going up, with the cost of, like I said, the cost of living going up, rent going up. You know, it's affecting these other businesses also that have to pay certain type of bills. You know, verse 11 says, there is crying for wine in the streets, all joy is darkened. It says the mirth of the land is gone. Right, like I said, this is not the same America anymore. Even talking about we're here in Chicago. Just talking about Chicago. A couple of years ago, you used to have masses of people downtown. You know, it was a very lit up area. Now you see a lot of what? You see a lot of boarded up businesses. You see less and less people. You know, you see the faces of these people. A lot of these people are depressed. A lot of these people, are just basically through. Compared to what 2-3 years ago, after the before 2020, after all this, all these things kicked off. So I'm gonna read that again. It's the book of Isaiah 24 and 11. It says, there is crying for wine in the streets, all joy is darkened. It says, the mirth of the land is gone. Right, the mirth of the land is gone. A lot of these people, they still living it up, but not like they used to, you know, because people know, a lot of people, is more depressed than they ever were, because what? Ultimately, how about Shemi Al Shai is bringing this place to an end. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 16 to 14. It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Right, the plagues. What are the plagues? Pestilences, famine, the sword, noisome beast. Those are the different plagues of Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. And the Lord has sent them, in the world, mainly here in America, you know. And like I said, with the cost of living going up and food prices going up, gas prices, rent price, you can send in a video. I encourage brothers, to watch that video. It's 29 minutes, but it just basically shows you that that Yahweh Shemi Al Shai is doing damage to this place, you know. And it says, are sent and shall not return again. Right. When these plagues go forth, they're not gonna They're not going to go back, until this place is destroyed, you know, until they come upon the earth, right? And this is the will, of Yahweh Shem Yahushai doing these things. So I'm gonna just basically end it off right there. I hope it was edifying. I want to end up by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. The one to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone, taught us this truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord willing, I hope this is edifying, and Lord willing, I'll come back with another lesson soon. Until next time, Wah Ababa Ba.